Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the weather news on VTB Tien channel, where we deliver the fastest, most accurate, and most comprehensive updates on the latest weather developments across Western Australia and nearby regions. Today, it is clear that the weather is entering a very notable phase. A band of rain and thunderstorms is forming and is likely to affect a wide area covering much of the western and southern parts of Western Australia over the next few days. This is the radar image recorded early this morning. If you have been following since dawn, you might have noticed a few scattered, light, and fairly brief showers, mainly along the southern coastal areas of Perth. However, according to data from meteorological observation stations, this rain band has been gradually intensifying throughout the morning, and by midday, its coverage had expanded quite significantly. Experts forecast that this amplification, that is, the increase in rain intensity and coverage, will continue throughout today and become particularly pronounced tomorrow. At present, the total recorded rainfall remains modest, ranging only from 2 to 10 millimeters in some inland areas and the southern parts of the Perth metropolitan region. However, the upcoming weather picture will be completely different. So, what is the cause of this complex weather event? According to meteorologists, the main culprit is a low-pressure system currently active off the western coast of Western Australia. This low-pressure system began forming last night and has strengthened rapidly throughout this morning. Although its center remains offshore and has not yet moved inland, it is the driving force behind a large, moist air circulation, bringing clouds, rain, and potential thunderstorms across Western Australia. Meteorological models indicate that around this low-pressure system, gusty winds are quite active, reaching speeds of 50 to 70 kilometers per hour, especially along the northwestern and southwestern coastal areas of the state. As we move into the latter half of the day, atmospheric conditions will become more favorable for the development of thunderstorms. Warm, humid air masses moving down from the north, combined with the offshore wind circulation, will cause convective clouds to grow more vigorously. The areas most affected today include the northern and northeastern parts of Perth, the outer edges of the Wheatbelt, and the southern parts of Gascoyne. Some intense storms may form quickly and dissipate just as fast, but they could bring extremely heavy rainfall over a short period, causing local flash flooding, particularly in low-lying or steep terrain areas. If today is the warm-up, then Wednesday will be the peak of this rain and storm episode. The latest forecast from the Bureau of Meteorology indicates that the offshore low-pressure system is likely to move inland, most probably making landfall near Geraldton before progressing further inland tomorrow. Furthermore, a secondary low-pressure circulation may form south of the main system, and as these two interact, they will draw in a large amount of moisture from the ocean, creating a widespread area of thunderstorms across the southern half of Western Australia. In particular, the regions most at risk of severe storms include the eastern slopes of the Perth Hills, the Wheatbelt and Great Southern, the Kalgoorlie-Boulder area, extending down toward Hayden and Norseman. These areas could face large hail, strong wind gusts, and heavy rainfall causing local flooding. Meteorological agencies warn that with wind gusts potentially exceeding 80 kilometers per hour, these thunderstorms could cause damage to crops, roofs, and agricultural infrastructure. Hailstones as large as coins, or even bigger, may damage roofs, car windows, and fruit trees. Residents in affected areas are advised to take precautions by parking vehicles under cover, avoiding outdoor activities during storms, and staying away from tall trees or power poles during lightning. Additionally, the risk of local flooding remains high to very high in low-lying riverine areas. Short-term flash flood warnings have been issued for several regions in the Wheatbelt and southern Gascoyne, where dry, less permeable soils can lead to strong runoff when heavy rain occurs. Moving into Thursday, you will notice a clear change. The good news is that the low-pressure system will gradually shift southward, leaving the mainland of Western Australia and weakening quickly offshore. According to forecasts, rainfall will decrease significantly across most inland areas. However, along the southern coast, from Eucla to Albany, some light showers will persist, carried inland by moist southwesterly winds from the ocean. The rest of the state, particularly Perth, Geraldton, and the Wheatbelt, will enjoy a dry, sunny, and more pleasant day. Temperatures are expected to rise slightly, ranging between 22 to 27 degrees Celsius, while humidity levels will drop to more comfortable levels. Let's take an overview of the total rainfall from now until Thursday evening. Forecast models show that the heaviest rainfall will be concentrated south of Carnarvon, extending through Great Southern and Goldfields. Some areas may receive 30 to 50 millimeters of rain, especially where storms develop strongly. The Bureau of Meteorology also notes that rainfall distribution will be very uneven. Some places may see only a few millimeters, while others just a few dozen kilometers away may record several tens of millimeters, depending on where storms form. If you are fortunate enough to miss the storm zone, you might see only 1 to 2 millimeters of light rain or even remain completely dry. But if you are under a strong storm cell, heavy rain and strong gusty winds could persist for several hours. For the agriculture sector, this is a sensitive period as many regions are entering harvest season. Experts advise farmers to closely monitor weather updates, pause harvesting during thunderstorm warnings, cover machinery and equipment, and ensure the safety of livestock in barns. Thunderstorms with hail and strong winds could cause significant losses to crops, particularly those bearing fruit, such as wheat, barley, and grapes. In summary, we are witnessing a highly dynamic weather system, with the offshore low-pressure area directly influencing the western and southern halves of Western Australia. The most active phase will be from today through the end of Wednesday, before conditions gradually improve on Thursday. Residents are advised to follow official updates from the Bureau of Meteorology, prepare for heavy rain, strong winds, and severe thunderstorms, and prioritize safety for both people and property. And after all this, once the low-pressure system moves away, the skies over Western Australia will soon return to blue and warmth, bringing a pleasant break after days of turbulent weather. And yes, today is not just an ordinary day, because it's Melbourne Cup Day, the day when all of Australia and even a few other countries practically freeze just to watch one single horse race. But don't forget, besides those horses sprinting down the track, there's another race happening right now, the race of clouds, wind, and thunderstorms across Australia's skies. Alright then, let's zoom in on the weather map this morning. Oh, look at this. Isn't it beautiful? All those swirling cloud bands, those patches of green and blue blending together, it looks like an abstract weather painting. In southeastern Queensland, oh, this area is getting quite a bit of rain. Meanwhile, in New South Wales, Victoria, and the inland regions, light rain showers are also making an appearance. Tasmania, well, it's drying up a bit, but don't celebrate too soon. The low-pressure system is still hanging around, and it could turn back at any time to gift you a few surprise downpours. You might think the sky's clear and bright, but just 10 minutes later, boom! Heavy rain, thunder rolling, lightning flashing, classic, temperamental, southeastern Australian weather that everyone living here knows too well. Now, the big question is, why so chaotic? All thanks to, or should I say because of, those mischievous low-pressure systems stirring up the Australian skies. One low-pressure system is sitting offshore from Western Australia. It's the culprit behind the storms earlier this week. Meanwhile, another one is spinning around Victoria and Tasmania, creating that kind of weather where if you take your umbrella to work in the morning, you'll definitely forget to bring it back home. And don't forget, there's also a southerly wind sweeping across South Australia, bringing a few showers and cooler air. In short, today is one of those days where the weather does whatever it wants. Total meteorological mood swings. Now, the part everyone's been waiting for, the Melbourne Cup. If you're in Melbourne or just watching your favorite horse from the couch, listen closely. This afternoon, about an hour before the main race, we'll see a few light showers. But don't panic. It's not the kind of rain that soaks you from head to toe. These are quick showers, the kind where the sky turns gray. You pull out your phone to snap a nice photo, and then, flash! A lightning bolt appears in the distance like it's trying to photobomb you. Temperatures in Melbourne today are cool and pleasant, a bit lower than yesterday. Westerly winds will start picking up into the evening, so if you've got party plans after the race, hold on tight to your hat and your wig. Alright, let's take a quick flight around Australia to see what's happening elsewhere. In Queensland, rain is easing, the sky's drying up, and the southwesterly winds are bringing cooler, more comfortable air. Great news for those who've been weathering the heavy rain recently. In Western Australia, storms are still going strong. The area north of Esperance is under a severe thunderstorm warning. Heavy rain, lightning, strong winds, and possibly giant hail. If you're out there, remember, a carport is your best friend today. In South Australia, cooler winds are sweeping through. Tasmania continues to see showers and strong southwesterly winds. So if you're in Hobart, sorry, that rainy day sign is lighting up again. By Wednesday, that big low-pressure system over WA is still acting up. Some places like Kalgoorlie could get storms, while the northern parts turn hot and dry again. By Thursday, that system starts moving toward South Australia. The result? Many regions will likely see some impressive storms, both in thunder and in surprise factor. Meanwhile, in Victoria, once the rain clears, the sun returns, things dry out, and temperatures rise a bit. A true wet and hot combo. Very Melbourne. Heading into the weekend, the situation remains so Australian. Scattered showers in Tasmania and eastern Victoria, while South Australia stays mostly dry. Great news for farmers in the middle of harvest season. Up north, especially around Katherine and Kimberley, tropical afternoon and evening storms continue to pop up. By Sunday, not much change. However, by next Tuesday, get ready. A winter-style cold front could make a comeback. Yes, that's right. Even in mid-November, we could see cold air surging into Tasmania, Victoria, and possibly New South Wales. If we're lucky, some of the southern mountain ranges might even see a dusting of snow. And I can already hear it. Winter lovers will say, "Oh my gosh, amazing!" while those who hate the cold will just shake their heads. Australia, can you ever pick a season and stick to it? So to sum it all up, Melbourne Cup, a few light showers, gentle breeze, cool temperatures. Western Australia, strong storms, watch for hail. Southern and Eastern Australia, unpredictable weather. Sunny morning, thunderous afternoon. Northern Australia, still hot, still dry, still chill. Australian weather never gets boring. One day you need a raincoat, the next you need sunscreen. And sometimes both at once. Thanks so much for tuning in today. If you found this video helpful or it made you smile a bit through the rain, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. And as always, stay safe. Keep an eye on the radar before heading out, and enjoy Melbourne Cup Day to the fullest, rain or shine. See you tomorrow for another fun edition of Australia's Weather Update. Bye-bye, and have a beautiful day.